You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Tedesco Show. This show is for biologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
Okay, are we talking now? Are we doing things?
Yeah, again.
Okay.
You're making a habit of this now.
No, I just wasn't sure because we were
It's
talking.
all right. Hey, everyone.
Hi,
Welcome to the Stuart Tedesco Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Melissa.
And
I'm Dario.
Dario's with us. And I did not tell you anything about this last week because it totally came out of nowhere. Dario was, and we'll get to why.
Yes.
What's happening.
Cool.
It's like, hey, anybody has a podcast? I'll come on your podcast to talk about this thing.
Yes.
And I was like, hey, we have a podcast. And it turns out we live right around the corner from each other.
Yes, we do.
So it was pretty
really
perfect.
convenient.
Yeah. This is luxurious dick off studio.
Yeah, well,
In the luxurious North Winton neighborhood.
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, I looked it up on Google Maps, and it was so close that it gave me walking directions. And I was like, what? You know me. I don't walk anywhere. Google Maps, come on now. Minute drive. I'll take it.
So the thing that you're promoting is you have an album coming out.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm releasing my debut comedy album on Wednesday, March 6th. That's very exciting. It's called Rough and Final Draft. And I'm excited about it. That's why I've been touring the podcast in Rochester, get the word out and hang with people. So it's cool.
Well, I mean, we'll have a link to wherever you think people should go to check it out.
Yeah.
And so I know of you.
Mm-hmm.
We have not met.
Yeah.
I've seen you on all the social medias and all that stuff.
Right.
I've never seen you perform, and you've been doing this for a while though.
Yeah. I've been doing stand-up for 12 years now. So, yeah, a while. Not all of it in Rochester. I was here until, 2015? And I was down in New York for 4 years, and then I came back in 2019. Mm-hmm. So, majority in Rochester, but, a couple years down in Brooklyn, too. So,
Well, that makes sense about why, because I think I first heard about you during the pandemic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you? Is that when you started? I don't want to get too ahead of things. Is that when you started doing the food thing with Chris?
Yeah.
That's when
it was.
That's how I got to know who you were.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll totally get to that. No, because I want to know about
but
that.
that makes sense.
Ooh, a lot of teasers
I
happening.
know. It's so exciting.
You got to
Dario
listen.
is such an exciting guest. I
I don't know.
Probably
Yeah.
2 minutes in, man. Calm down. That's what
No, I'm all
right.
excited. With the day I had, I'm gonna fucking
Right.
yay,
Go
yay
ahead.
everything, yay you,
I'll,
yay beer.
Thank
if you need to, I'll stumble with you home.
All right.
All right, that's all good. Do what you gotta do.
No, I gotta work again.
Oh, that's true. Okay. So because the other thing that I do with this is I have not just the podcast, but we do an internet radio station.
Okay.
And I really gear it toward basically sticking it to the man.
Sure.
Protest music, even the comedy on there is. So what kind of? This feels weird to ask this. Like, what kind of comedy do you do? That's
Right. No, it's a question.
Probably everyone.
Yeah,
Good question.
it's a question that we get commonly.
It's not prop
it's not.
comedy.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
no, not prop comedy. No, I did actually. So the first time I did stand up was at Boulder Coffee off South Ave over there, and this was 12 years ago, right? And it was my first time, and I kind of had like one-liners. I was like a one-liner guy. I'm not a one-liner guy anymore. But the first time I went up there and I had a joke about, I was like, I got to take something off my chest. And I had like a bra that was like tucked into my shirt. And then I did my whole set and I got off and I never pulled out the bra. And then I was just sitting there with like a bra in my shirt. I was like, I am never doing that ever again. And from then on, no bras or anything.
So you were not going to be
props.
the next Carrot Top.
No,
What you were doing.
no, definitely not one of my guys for sure. But I'd say my stand-up. I was just talking about this the other day with someone else. Just like I pull from my life experiences, really. it's kind of how like I process things, just things that happen to me, just, you know, major or minor. I'm going through a lot of life changes now. I'm going to be a dad in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So that's a big milestone, and it's just like lots of crazy things happening, all new experiences. So it's just like breaking that stuff down, making it funny, bringing it on stage, relating it to people. All sorts of stuff like that. So that's really what the album is. The last couple of years of just my life and making it funny, really.
How does that? Not how natural, but like you making it funny. That's I am fascinated by people's creative processes.
Sure.
However, especially when it comes to comedy, like music. To me is foreign. I can't.
Right.
It bounces off my forehead. I can't get musical theory. I love music, but I can't quite get the. But for to be funny, that creative way, like people watch that movie, The Aristocrats, and they're focused like on the joke and all the really nasty stuff on there. And I'm like listening to how people come up with this shit. That's really my fascination with the movie.
Right. What the process.
Yeah. So like,
don't you think that a lot of those people came up with it right off the top of their head, though, in that case? Or do you really think it was scripted?
Well, I mean,
Man,
I know
really don't want to think it was scripted.
No.
Okay, because I'm like, no, I love that movie so much. I don't want it to be scripted.
Right.
No. But
it's better if it's improvised.
Yeah,
right?
But the conversation in that movie of like how it's like this industry inside joke,
right?
And how comedians would do it for other comedians, and just but how you that kind of aspect of it, because it's something that's normally didn't up until I guess it was the Gilbert Gottfried thing where it really came out.
Right.
And so just that process is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
So when you said finding things in your life that's funny, I mean, do you just go about your business and then something happens or somebody says something, you go, oh, that's a bit.
Yeah, well, sometimes, but it's just like not everything's funny. Obviously, you know, there's some serious things that happen, but I think as a comedian, it's kind of your job to make those things funny too, because everybody lives life, right? And life sucks sometimes, and you know, you got to find the levity in it, right? And so, you know, with having a baby, you know, this is an example of this. You know, we had a tough time doing it, and we had to go through the IVF process.
Oh, yeah.
Not funny, right?
Yeah, no.
And
it
not the
isn't.
best time, but you know, it's something that people go through, right? And it's sometimes there's a stigma behind it. It's very private, and as a male comic, you know, just bringing that up on stage from my perspective of, you know, how I went through it and my, you know, like all the things that went along with that. You know, I had to be a nurse. I had to do injections on my wife, and something that I never thought I could ever do. And one of my jokes I had was just like how I was like, oh, turns out I'm good with needles. I thought heroin was off the table, so you know, so I'm good now. I guess you know, I fuck with needles, so yeah.
Yeah, my mom taught me how to shoot a needle into her and just in case I needed to because she's diabetic. So
Oh yeah, see,
I know how to shoot a needle now too.
it's a skill.
It is a skill. It is a skill.
Yeah, but I was poking my wife's butt like for a couple of months. It's not great. It's not, you know.
And not in the fun way.
Not in the fun way. We were doing that in the fun way, and then it was the bad way.
And then it wasn't the fun way anymore.
Yeah. So that's an example
But that's
of that.
great. I love that. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm just, as you were saying this, I was thinking to myself, trying to think of anybody, any men I've ever heard even talking about the IVF experience, like what they go through on
Right.
their end of it.
Yeah.
Because you hear about it a lot with women. I don't hear it a lot with men.
Yeah. No, obviously
What's going on?
Yeah,
I just kind of need you in front of your mic.
yeah.
I am in front of the mic.
No, you're off to the
You're
side.
on the side there, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, obviously
Is that better?
I'll fix it in post.
Okay. Is it better now, though?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. It's
Yeah.
much better now.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
you were like on the side. Yeah, no, all good. Yeah, but obviously, you know, women. I'm not speaking on behalf of my wife. You know, I don't know what she's going through.
She doesn't listen to the show.
Yeah, no, but no, seriously though. But like what all my jokes are about what I'm going through, my doctor visits, and you know all that type of stuff that went along with it. So, Some of it was funny, definitely. You know, I just go through life observing things, and I'm like, okay, noted. That's weird, right? You know, I talked about the STD posters in, you know, the urologist's office. I'm like, okay. Did somebody come in here and be like, we need chlamydia on the wall? Does that bring the room together? That's like, you know, like what? So
you know what I need on this poster in this room?
Yes.
Poster about chlamydia. That will look really right there.
Yes. Really brings the room together. Yes.
Okay, I did have a Rick Santorum sign.
You did.
It's
It was
close.
hilarious.
It's not quite the same.
I know. I'm kind of bummed that the Rick Santorum sign is gone because it got a. Well, anytime anybody visited, it was always a great conversation. Like, why do you have a Rick
eventually
Santorum?
it was.
Yeah.
Sometimes it scared the shit out of people. But
Yeah.
What's that doing here?
Yeah. One of your neighbors.
Yeah.
It was on the pot. This was it was before I was married. At my last apartment.
Okay.
One of your neighbors, Renee,
Yes.
came over. Her and two other people were doing the women's arm wrestling thing for charity.
Oh, yeah.
And just saw it online and said, hey, I do the show. Come and promote it.
Yeah.
We had never met. And they came in and there was this huge Rick Santorum lawn sign on the wall. And they actually were, what the hell did I get into?
Oh, really?
And I had to be like, okay, let me tell you the story, how I got this, okay?
Okay, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's
a
being
joke.
ironic, okay?
Yeah.
It's not for real.
Totally an irony thing here.
Well, I mean, there's worse things you could have up, you know? It's like,
I don't know.
It wasn't great. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
I mean,
But it was funny.
I'm on Reddit. I see people like,
okay.
you know.
Oh, you,
Reddit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
Reddit
like-
scares me. I stay away from Reddit.
Yeah.
Reddit scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
I got torn apart on Reddit once over posting a picture. I posted a picture of a. So I went on there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna check out Reddit because these other people talk about Reddit. I'm gonna check out Reddit. So I went onto one of those ghost Reddit site type things, ghost Reddits, and I posted a ghost picture I have that I have in my house, and I got torn apart on it.
Yeah.
Like people are just like crazy. You're
It wasn't
like,
a real ghost? What were they?
No, it totally is. It totally
no, but
is.
what were they saying?
Oh, they were totally saying it wasn't and
Oh.
stuff, and they were just like tearing me apart. Like that's just a blah 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 and blah blah blah. And I'm like trying to explain myself, and I'm like, man, these people are so mean.
I would think people in a ghost subreddit would just be like, we're all about ghosts.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But
And they're like,
my
yeah,
first-
that's a ghost.
Right. My
Ghost
first
exists.
Right.
Yeah.
My first experience was some guy telling me how badly my picture sucked and how badly I suck and everything sucks, and I was like, oh my god, literally that was my first interaction. And like I think I was and that was back in 2020 because I had nothing. That was back in 2020 when I had nothing else to fucking do. And I said something about joining Reddit. And I think on Facebook the next day I was like, I joined Reddit and now I'm not on Reddit. And like one of my friend Anna in Finland, she's like, I told you that place was toxic. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, no, Reddit's mean. They're like, that's really.
It is mean. It is
If I
not
were
a
to
place
stand
for.
up, that's where I'd get my stuff from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect for you.
Yeah.
For
no.
sensitive people like myself, like, no, you're mean. I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's like I'll post about like within the Rochester one, and I'll post like, oh, we got this great show, and they're like, you suck, and I'm like, what? This is my art. Like, let me live my dream, you know?
Why you gotta do that, man?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do a thing.
So we
Really,
don't-
people do that though? They just go, you suck.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh my god, why do people have to just suck so
People,
bad?
they do.
Just because they can, you know? Yeah.
And it's online. It's
Right.
relatively
There's
anonymous. And,
No rebuttal.
yeah, nobody comes to your house to say stop doing that.
Yeah.
Man, I wish
Should.
people did.
I wish, yeah. So okay. So again, living your dream kind of thing. So I thought I saw on one of the social medias, but you do have a 9 to 5, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So is the goal to just do comedy?
It was initially. No, yeah. So that, life happens, right? And your goals kind of realign. And it's like right now, my goal, basically every year you kind of try to increase, what you do. When I came back, I was like working on get an hour of material together as a like kind of a milestone as a comedian. Then I did some half hours at the club. I did a Fringe Fest show, and then
that's kind of. Yeah. I mean, Fringe Fest. I think is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so then the following year, I'm like, okay, so what's next? I'm like, let's record an album. So that's what I did, and now I'm, going to be a dad, and then you kind of step back a little bit, and then
the jokes are going to tell themselves at this point.
Right, exactly. And
I mean, there's poop and babies. There's so many jokes. It's never. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it never gets old.
Right.
Poop,
poop
babies.
And babies. Yeah.
Think it's funny still.
Well, no, but a kid realigns your priorities too.
Yeah, no, totally, exactly. But yeah, no. So now I'm kind of like, putting that hour material aside that's on the album and writing a lot of new stuff, working that out and make it more fun for me because I'm very tired of those jokes. So
okay, yeah. So I mean, that's interesting because I grew up. Just not just comedy, but stand up.
Sure,
particularly.
Yeah, both
as a
of
kid.
Us. Yeah, both of us did. Both of us had big stand up.
And then noticing how like you want as a consumer of it. I hate that word, but as a person who takes it in.
Audience. Yeah.
If there's someone you really like, and you were to see like two shows of like the same kind of tour or something,
right?
You'd be, oh my God, it's like I've already heard a lot of this.
Yeah,
like you can't do a whole new thing every show.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. I mean, writing materials, good material is difficult, and building an hour is not easy. Out of the gate, your first goal is to get 5 minutes, a tight 5 minutes, and that's not easy. It seems short, but it's not easy.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that people talk about. Are you going to see the comedian, or are you going to see the material? If you go see Jim Gaffigan, you're like hoping that he does Hot Pockets, right?
Right.
And it's but he's got new dark jokes that you're not really into. Be like, well, it sounds like you don't really like Jim Gaffigan then, because he is who he is, and he's going to do the material he wants to do.
Right.
So I'm the same
I get
way.
excited about it. I mean, you can like that's why they have comedy albums. You can listen to it again and again.
Right.
Even though, we've had to cancel Bill Cosby because we had to. It's his own fault. But growing up, we listened to Bill Cosby albums growing up. My parents loved Bill Cosby. They liked Bill Cosby, Flip Wilson, George Carlin. Those are the three I remember the most. And yeah, we listened especially the Bill Cosby records. I listen to them all the time, over and over again.
Sure.
I fucking know those jokes. I still know those jokes.
Right. Yeah.
My husband and I were just talking about those jokes just the other day. We both remember off of one of the albums.
I see you perform regionally.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So but if it was just mostly in the city of Rochester, I mean, doing how often do you don't change the entire sets, right? Or you just like over time stuff goes in and out kind of thing?
Yeah, you kind of cycle, kind of like a crop where you bring some new things in along with the old things just so you can kind of like create like a buffer, where you're like, well, I don't know if this is as good, but I'm going to kind of bookend it between jokes that I know work, so that I can kind of test it out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, you do that over and over and build that in, and then you end up with a new set, basically, from that.
Honestly, that almost sounds, in some degree, almost like a DJ, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like having some certain songs that are like gonna, that everyone loves these songs, but all right.
Panty droppers.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you? Okay, Dario.
I got some jokes.
Do you have some jokes that are panty droppers?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
I bet.
No, I do not.
I'd like to know, because I
want to know those jokes.
You said you listened to the last show. So we used to have them in the middle, but now I just slap them on at the end.
Sure.
And I do so many other things. I don't do as much writing as I used to, but we have these bits that we do ourselves. Right? So I've done some writing on my own, nothing like stand up or anything like that.
Right.
But
It's still writing and it's still funny.
oh, it is. No, I'm not saying. Oh, I've got little pieces of paper.
I know,
with
you
ideas.
do.
I don't know how you do yours. I got notes and post-its.
Is that what you do
all
too?
over
Just
the
little
place.
bits?
I have
of paper?
notebooks, yeah,
Do you have
and
like in
I
a
always
pocket notebook?
no, I always have a pen on me at all times, just in case I have to scribble something down. But I just use an app, the notebook app, not the one that comes loaded, but I have another one that I have jokes from 2015 on there, like all the way back. Terrible stuff, but yeah.
Oh, I feel. Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I got cassette tapes with like stuff from when we were kids. Like, oh my god,
That's great, though.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good
like
stuff.
horrible.
Yeah.
Well, please, even just, I mean, we talk about it. We've got some old shows that were like,
well, yeah, that's true. No, but I
or
have,
old bits, well, not so much shows, but bits that we
I
were
have
like,
stuff with Dead Uncle Glenn.
oh,
That's
you
how
still with Dead Uncle
Dead Uncle Glenn.
Glenn.
Yeah.
It's okay. Dead Uncle Glenn would be okay that we're calling him that. He was a funny dude.
I assume he
Just
would.
not when he's alive.
We didn't talk about it when he was alive, so I'm making it easier for me to just assume he would be okay with it.
I think he would.
He probably.
I think he would.
I mean, he was Uncle Glenn until he died, right?
Right. Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't call him that before.
Yeah.
Because that would be pretty mean, right?
Yeah, well,
But-
yeah. He, was, he already had some self-esteem issues. We didn't want to hit him that while he's still alive. That would have been bad.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's here.
Oh yeah. Dead
Yeah.
Uncle
I think
Glenn
it's in the
is
drawer.
Yeah.
Man. So I'm not gonna get into the whole family history. But he ended up getting cremated.
Okay.
And his wife, kind of a mail or a bride situation, sends the ashes to his sister, my aunt.
Okay.
And my aunt, and I love her to death. My aunt's awesome. She's been on the show before. She's actually awesome.
She's pretty great.
But she decided on her own that we all wanted some of his ashes in a little pendant with the rope thing. Like, I'm gonna wear
she
this
make
thing.
it?
Yeah.
I don't know who's put him in the.
jeweler. She might have made it.
I don't know who put the ashes in the pendant. I don't want to know. I will have one, please. Thank you. I'll even take the same one. Thank you. Yeah. So Dead Uncle Glenn's here.
Oh,
He
so
used
you
to-
have.
He used to be hanging from here, but
He was. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had a pendant full of Glenn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So when we were kids, we used to like make up bits and tune it on our little tape recorder. And
Yeah.
Just
I
horrible.
think a lot of I don't know. I wonder how many other, because I did that too. I wonder how many other kids used to do that.
No, that's like a Howard Stern type of thing, right? Like
Yeah.
him growing up, he would do that type of stuff, and he was just like loved radio and comedy from the beginning. So that's cool. I didn't do any of that.
Who were? Well, I was good. That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
ask. So when you brought up Howard Stern, who were your influences? Who got
Yeah.
you to do this?
Who are your comedy heroes?
Who are my people? Yeah, Howard Stern, definitely. I mean, my mom growing up would listen to Howard Stern all the time, and it wasn't appropriate for me at all.
Nope, sure
You
wasn't.
know, but I still listened to it, and I was exposed to things that probably
How old
at
are
that
you
age.
Ish.
10,
Okay,
12,
yeah.
around
Yeah.
there. The beginning of puberty. But yeah. So I'd say like Howard Stern, definitely SNL, the 90s cast. I'm an only child, and so growing up like in the summer when I was like kind of on my own, Comedy Central would play, reruns like almost all day, but definitely I think it was like the noon hour, the lunch hour, they would play episodes, and so I became like obsessed with like that 90s, the Farley, Sandler, Spade cast, like
Yeah, that's great.
It was
That's a great
awesome.
cast.
So like comedy has always been an interest of mine. I just never really took it up until after college. So that's like kind of where I found myself. I started with improv. So I took a class over at Jiva Comedy, right? Jiva Comedy Improv, Jiva Theater at that time had an improv troupe, and they were awesome, right? And my wife and I, my girlfriend at the time, we would go to these shows all the time. We became like, groupies, right? We were hanging out with the cast afterwards. We go over to Marshall Street, just hanging. And then we became like actual friends with them, close with them. One of the cast members actually he was my best man in my wedding, right? So we became real friends.
I totally know this group. Actually, one
Yeah.
of my friends was somebody I know was in that group.
Who was it?
His name's Nick.
Oh yeah.
Do you know Nick?
Yeah, sure.
Nick,
I know
Nick lives in California now.
Yeah. Nick's awesome. Yeah,
Nick's
no,
awesome.
he
He's
was
such a
part of that
sweetheart.
cast. Yeah, they very talented. They were great. And so they had auditions, and I auditioned, and they didn't take me, and then I started stand up. That was that was basically
Like, fine, you're not going to take me. I'm going to do my own thing.
Because it looks easy, right? It's got to be hard. I haven't
Well,
done it.
yeah, no, I don't know.
I've done improv.
Yeah.
Improv's hard. I've done improv acting. Improv acting is hard. I can't. I mean, to me, stand up seems like an impossibility.
Yeah.
I love stand up, and there was a time even when I was younger, I was like, oh, I'd love to do stand up because like you, I was obsessed with especially in the '80s. I was so obsessed with stand up comedy in the '80s, back in the Rodney Dangerfield days and all that kind of stuff, and. Duty, that guy, you know, that guy. I love that guy.
Found it for you.
I know, I love that guy. But I think it seems so hard. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
give you a lot of credit.
No,
'cause
no,
anybody
yeah.
who can do that, I give a lot of credit to.
Yeah, there's kind of a debate about, improv comedy. When I was in New York, I went to some improv, and when improv comedy is good, it's like magical. Like, it's unbelievable that they're, creating these scenes and like finishing each other's lines and like this type of thing. They have such a connection. They call it like a hive mind type of thing, where it's just very impressive. But bad improv comedy is like Guantanamo Bay type of torture. Like, it's really, really bad. You're just kind of wriggling around in your seat and you're like, what am I doing here? You mark yourself safe after the show type of thing. So, but I'm a stand-up comedian, so like I'll defend stand-up. I mean, obviously there's bad stand-up too that's pretty cringeworthy as well. So.
Yeah, I heard the last dude that was on Saturday Night Live did some really cringy things. I don't know his name or anything.
Shane Gillis.
Yeah. I heard he did some.
I love
cringy.
Shane, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard he said some things that were really not cool. I don't know what they were, but
Well,
I don't even know who he is. I just was
Yeah.
like, oh, I heard said some nasty things.
Well, I know some of the biggies, the older comedians that are whining. I'll say whining, my word. That you can't say anything anymore and cancel culture.
Sure. Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I'm like,
You can still make other jokes.
Yeah, I'm
there's lots of
shocked for
jokes to make.
Shock for just a shock. I don't feel is all that funny. I don't know.
That's not clever to me. That's not fucking clever.
I'm saying this without even having heard your stuff yet.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Yeah, right. No, I have a lot of dead baby jokes. So no, I'm kidding. Not at all.
Well,
no.
Well, that's.
I know. I'm like,
It's like a politician. Dead babies can't vote for
It's
me
like,
anyway.
yeah.
So they're not going to apply my right.
Yeah, like Nazis. Let's hear them out, guys. Come on. Yeah, no. A lot of medical advancements. No, not at all. No, but I am for saying whatever you want to say on stage is fine. I mean, as long as it's like not hateful, make it funny. I think there's a way to make a lot of things funny as long as you come at it at the right angle. People are going to get offended by anything. Sometimes people are triggered just by words and they don't, they'll tune out. You'll say something, whatever word that might be, and then they just like, all right, I'm checking out, And it's like, you got to hear it out. Like, you might be a really good comedian and I'm like, I'm going to make this funny. I have a point to make here. With Shane, I don't have to defend him, but I mean, he's talking about, he has a cousin, I think that has Down syndrome or something like that. And so he relates to it. He has a personal experience with this person. And, it's another thing that people don't.
Oh, did he say the R word or something, or is that what happened? I don't even know.
I'm not sure.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
But it's one of those things that, like, you can make it funny. These things that are like so private and people are scared to talk about. Like, these people exist too, so it's okay. They're okay.
Well, wasn't that what Gilbert Gottfried, when he told the aristocrats joke, wasn't that the main thing? Was like, nobody wanted to tell jokes. Everybody was like, wait, we just had this horrible thing happen 9/11 and nobody wants to, we can't laugh.
He busted it out because he told the 9/11 joke. And people were like, hissing and this.
Right.
Thing. So my understanding is he just kind of said, well, fuck it. And then he went.
I know, but I really, I don't know. I guess I honestly, okay, I'm gonna sound like a total dork. That part actually almost made me cry. I felt some kind of way about it because I thought what he did was actually really beautiful.
Yeah,
I did. What he did was like he really bridged it. It's like, yeah, we did just had this horrible thing, but it's still here, you know.
Right,
and like
right.
I'm just. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really beautiful what he did.
Well, comedy to deal with like tragedy, I think is awesome.
Rip Gilbert Gottfried
Is it's fantastic. It's healing, in my opinion.
Right,
I mean, I do it too. I mean, you know, I guess I do it on the show here too. But I mean, I just do it in private amongst friends and stuff. But
sure,
but like you said, Dario, when it's hateful, and it's people who, okay, like an example. As someone who's been in activism, I don't say all my life, but it feels like it's been all my life, one way or another, and it still doesn't give me the right to use certain language that about race. That I mean, I can make race funny, right? Like you're saying,
sure,
but using certain words and language and the way I try to make it funny, as a guy with most of the privileges, that's. Not the way to do it. And I think that's
you have to
some of these
you have to figure out the right way to be funny.
Yeah.
You can't say the same. You can't say that. You can't always. It's just the way it is.
Like,
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's okay. That just means there's more jokes out there. Fucking tell a new joke.
right.
There's so many more jokes.
So are you cancelable? I think I just made up a word.
Everybody is.
Everyone's.
Yes.
I mean, we've all. I mean, you and I have both been canceled at some point.
I get the word. I just don't see. I don't think anyone gets canceled. It's like people saying they don't think that's funny and fuck you. That's not. So.
No, it's just like, you change the channel, right?
Right.
It's like if you don't like somebody, you change the channel. Right. I choose not to watch things for whatever reason, and that's just the way it is, right? And, everybody that quote unquote has been canceled still has an audience and still selling out theaters. Yep. And like, so what do you, if you call somebody canceled, they seem pretty successul still. I don't know.
It's the people themselves saying it. I've been canceled. I mean, Louis C.K.
Sure.
I was canceled. And he just won a Grammy or something.
Right.
He did?
Yeah. I used to really like him.
Man,
but his stuff wasn't
him.
even for his on stage stuff. It was the behind the scenes stuff. So that guy can go fuck off too. But.
Man, when that show he had for like one season of, he had the do you remember that?
Yeah,
it was only on. It was such a short-lived show.
Lucky Louie. He had a Louie on
there was
FX. That was like a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So,
he had this. He had a show, and then he went on to stand up, and then we all found out he was a fucking weird, like crazy, disgusting human, and like to do gross things.
Yeah.
Which was a bummer because I did think he was hilarious.
It's only gross because you didn't have consent.
No, of course.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right.
You can do all of that would have been fine if there was consent. There wasn't consent. Then it wasn't okay.
Right. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. That's what makes it gross.
Yeah. Nothing he did was gross. It's only gross because of the consent part.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I say we're not anti.
I mean, masturbate all you want, man. Okay. Your partner's into watching you do it. Fucking enjoy yourselves.
I still go back to. I try to work this line in whenever it's not porking, but pork away, pal. Like that was just such an awesome line. It was so unexpected.
That is really good.
Fish About Wanda, or
was
Fish
it
Called Wanda?
Was it in a Fish Called Wanda?
Yeah,
I don't
Kevin
even
Kline.
remember. God, that movie's so good. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Kevin Kline, pork away, pal.
I can almost see him saying it.
Okay.
God, he was so good in there.
Anyway,
anyway.
All right, so that's not all you do.
Yeah.
Right. So the other thing we kind of mentioned.
Yeah, we sort of talked about.
But it does have its. I'm assuming it has its roots in comedy too, because you do it with another comedian.
That's right. Yeah.
And food is fun and funny.
So okay, so I guess it was.
And that's how I know you who you are.
Like you both were talking. It's like, hey, I eat. Well, me too. We should do this thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was a little different. I came back in 2019 to Rochester. I moved back to my hometown, and Chris at that time was freelance writing for City Magazine. Mm-hmm. I currently freelance write for City Magazine. We kind of switched places, but So he was writing, he was doing restaurant reviews and things like that. And Chris was, he's a friend of mine. I knew him from the open mics, things like that. And, I'm just trying to reconnect with people basically at that point. And so I reached out to Chris and I go, hey, I see you, you do these restaurant reviews, you get free food. And I'm like, yeah, cut me in on one of those. And so he's like, yeah, sure, come out, And so we went to a place, what was it called? Sweet Mist, no longer open. It was like an ice cream place that had this weird technology that like would create the ice cream like with like dry ice and everything like in front of you, kind of like a Cold Stone Creamery type of thing. Right? You tell them the flavors, ingredients, blah blah blah, and they would create that just out of thin air basically, and out of the mist. And
I think they used to call that elfin magic.
Yeah. Yeah. So I ended up going with Chris to this, and we hung out, cracked some jokes, and we talked to the owner, and he wrote me in like if you were to Google Sweet Mist City Magazine, there's a mention of Dario. We call that episode 0 of Refined Taste, what it became. So when 2020 happened, a pandemic, you guys remember that, right? And so, like as creatives and as stand-up comedians, that need live audiences, we were pretty down and out.
Yep.
And so, I need an outlet always, I need people to hear me always and look at me. And so, I had the idea of starting something. I love Rochester. I love food and I love comedy. So we combined those three things and created Refined Taste. And so the focus really was about, it was at the time in, summer of 2020 when there was so many like restaurants were coming out with like political things and like, just kind of showing their colors. Like there's some asshole restaurant owners out there.
That we don't go to anymore.
Yeah.
Blue Wolf.
Well, Blue Wolf, but
I'm saying that's my number one.
Yeah.
Oh, Perry's.
Perry's is the other
Perry's
one.
another one.
Perry's.
I had an argument.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pizza
Oh yeah,
Stop
I
was
had an
another
argument with somebody from Pizza Stop.
Yeah.
Like a big time argument with the owner from Pizza Stop.
Yeah. So there
Actually, I think Chris even commented on
Yeah,
it too.
definitely. Yeah, so like there was so much negativity out there, right? Be like, oh, don't go to this place, don't go to this place. And I'm like, so which places should we go to? Who aligns with, what we believe in, what our values, So Refined Taste
Comrade
was...
Lenin's Haggis Emporium. Woo.
Yeah, right. Well, like...
Maybe.
Yeah. We want to support people that we fuck with. It's really about, supporting underrepresented groups, LGBTQ, women-owned, black, brown-owned businesses, and getting them out in the forefront and giving them the spotlight, because it's so difficult, especially for those groups, to have a successful business, or like within the first couple of years, so many fail. So it's like, let's give them, let them tell their stories, give them an extra boost, and get some food out of it too. So so that's really how Refined Taste started. And we did a whole bunch of episodes, and then last year we kind of took a break, and we're back now, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for folks, and I'm going to link stuff and show notes.
Sure.
So when you say episodes, so that means they were YouTube-y things, they were social media things. What are folks getting at?
They're basically wherever you stream podcasts, Apple, whatever podcast, Spotify,
Same thing,
Amazon,
same thing.
everywhere.
Okay, it's like, because I know the few that I watched, it was just like, it was on a Facebook thing.
So
it was just like,
So,
hey, they're on right now. I'm like, okay, click on.
Yeah. So in the early days of the podcast, probably the first year or so, we were doing them because it was during the pandemic and everybody, was apart from each other. And that was one of the things. It's like kind of, everyone's so separate. So let's keep the community
it was
together
nice.
type
It's
of
nice.
thing. Let's we're still having conversations. We're still having those relationships grow. And so we were doing, it was Monday nights, I think at 8:00, and you tuned into some of those.
Yep, I did.
And so we would do it on Zoom. And so we'd bring in whoever our guest was of the week, and that would be the podcast. So we'd record that, I'd convert it to audio and release that later on. But a lot of people would tune in live. And some people do miss that, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't, there is somebody, one of my friends actually just posted on Facebook recently about how they sort of miss some parts of the pandemic, and that was the main one. Was
Yeah.
like the Zoom get-togethers.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was
my family still does that the last Sunday.
Yeah, so you guys
Yeah.
still do it.
Yeah, well, if you're apart, I mean, like what distance or whatever, I mean, it's a great thing that you could FaceTime or Zoom or whatever. But it's so great that we can be together, this close and talk. I think the conversations are just so much better when we're together.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said, you like food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a pretty generic thing.
Sure.
So like how, I mean, you like deconstruct, when you say, I mean, like, do you know the difference between spatulas or I don't know. I mean, how into it are you guys?
When I say I like food, I don't know. I like eating. It's really what it comes down to. Some people are like, do you cook? And I'm like, not really. I did cook a little bit, but it's not really
I like
about
to eat
that.
food.
Yeah.
Well,
I like food in my belly and
Yes,
tasting it.
exactly. And it's really about, we like to describe Refined Taste as like a food podcast about people, really. Okay. And that's really what it's about. It's about bringing people on, letting them tell their stories, and then we just kind of crack some jokes in between that. Like we run some bits. Sometimes the guest is very bewildered looking, and they don't know what the hell's going on. Some
I
of
make
those
souffles. Why are you making jokes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're like, "This is
Souffle,
serious."
isn't it funny? That's a funny word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's funny because like some of these Zoom ones, especially because there was sometimes a delay associated, and so Chris and I would be going back and forth and running a bit and riffing, and like this other person's just kind of like staring, like, what did I sign up for?
That sounds like all my students.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What the? I actually had a student ask me once, "Who hired you?"
Oh my God, no.
Oh yeah, when I was in Hawaii, one of my middle schoolers, "Who hired you?" And I thought it was the best question ever. I was like, the guy in the office over there, go complain.
You can go talk to him about it if you
It was
want.
his fault.
That's really funny.
I do that
Man,
at
I
the
love
school
the kids.
I'm at.
I love the weird shit the kids say.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Just
to
wait.
my class.
Just wait.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a dad. They're gonna say all the weirdest shit. It's
I know,
hilarious.
yeah, my kid's gonna say some weird shit.
It's gonna
Guarantee
be
it,
awesome.
yeah.
It's gonna
Hanging
be
out with
awesome.
me all the time. Yeah.
All right. What kind of dad do you think you're gonna be? I mean, are you gonna be that? What the hell was I just watching? I don't remember what it was. Oh God, this is so. I don't know if this is going to make me look cool or dorky or just...
Does it matter even at this point?
That's a good point. So last night I was watching a documentary about Doug and the Slugs, a band that was out of Vancouver, up in Canada.
I'm like, I don't know what that is.
I
It's
know
just
you
a
don't.
yeah.
I
I'm
know.
like, I know what you're doing.
And no, I know.
Nobody
It's-
knows
It's
this.
this
Yeah.
Canadian band, and Bob Geldof knows who they are.
Okay, well, I know who he is, so that's fine.
All right. Again, they were big in Canada. Take that for whatever it's worth.
I mean, it's a great name.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Doug and the Slugs.
And
yeah.
Doug of
Doug,
Doug and the Slugs.
yeah.
There was all these home movie things in there, and it showed him as this dad, the dad who was always like creating characters and and running around with fake swords and I am whatever and just being that kind of dad.
Right.
That's so not me.
No. Yeah.
No. So I'm just like, do you see yourself as that? Coming out?
Yeah, I know. That's who I am already, I think, and I think it's just going to translate pretty easily.
Okay.
I'm always joking around with my wife, and we're just running bits, like I kind of don't ever turn off, like if something's funny, it's funny, like so. With a kid, it's great. I mean, it's an audience all the time.
Kids are the best audience.
They
Right.
are. They're pretty great.
Great.
Pretty great.
I'm not I just don't role play well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not. I can't go like, now I'm the king of England and
No,
run
no.
around with,
Ah.
it's just not.
Yeah, that was one of my things
I'll
growing
riff.
up.
I'll
Yeah.
tell jokes and
Yeah.
stuff, but I can't role play very
Yeah,
well.
as a kid, that was like, I was in creative writing. I was very imaginative. I was very big into like Goosebumps and like Animorphs
that's
and all
awesome.
those.
Yep.
So
fabulous.
I actually, me and another kid, like in elementary school, we ended up writing like this series of like sort of horror, but it's more like Goosebumps horror, and they were called the Ghoul Brothers, and we kind of like comic books, kind of like we like wrote them out and drew pictures and all that. So like, my school saw that and we're like, okay, creative writing. And so, that all through even high school, I was like writing things like that. And then I kind of separated from it. And now I'm back, it's like comedy is creative writing for sure. And like having an imagination and being able to like have those connections on stage is, you're utilizing all those muscles at the same time.
Wow.
Oh,
that's why I always thought it seemed so hard. Like, no wonder I think it seems so hard, comedy.
Yeah.
To
do it on a stage. Like, I'm funny at home. Like, I mean, my husband and my son think I'm funny. You think we have laughs. So but to do it on a stage and to have all the other, it seems so hard.
Yeah. Well, my wife she's a teacher, so she performs in front of all her classroom.
Oh yeah,
and
totally.
To me, that is frightening, being in front of all these kids staring at you, picking their noses, and exactly,
they really do,
and they're mean.
Mine do anyway,
right?
And they are mean.
Yeah, they're very honest, right?
What grades does she?
So
teach?
she teaches like first through third. It's like elementary.
Oh yeah, they're gonna say exactly what they think.
Yeah, totally, no filter.
Wow, you're fat.
Yeah, but first, that's just, dude.
I'm just saying, she probably, when you first gained.
That's just deaf culture.
I'm saying like as soon as she probably gained a few pounds when she got pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fat.
Yeah,
that's what they say. I mean, they're horrible.
Exactly.
They're wonderful and beautiful, and I love children, but they're also
more when they're in middle
terrible.
school because they're older and they should know better, and yet they don't.
They still don't care.
But they're doing it on purpose at that point, right?
Yeah.
They're just saying it. But I think she had to explain. She's like, she's like, I'm pregnant. I'm gonna get bigger. I'm
gonna get bigger. I'm not fat.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go away for a little bit.
And then you're not gonna see me for a while.
Then you won't see me until next year. Yeah. So yeah.
What school did you go to? You said you were from here.
Yeah, high school I went to Brockport. I lived in the city, but I was a urban suburban kid.
Oh, okay.
So I got bussed out to Brockport, a long bus drive.
Yeah.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
up early every morning.
Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
Doing BOCES out in Williamson, and my kids come in from 12 different districts.
Yeah.
I had kids with over an hour bus ride. And
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
those poor kids.
Relatable. Yes. I've been there. Yeah. I would sometimes fall asleep on the bus and then be walking around for 3 periods with like a line on my face, forehead type of thing.
I'm not even really awake for the first 3 periods.
Pillow face. It's like
Why do
bus
they
seat face.
why do they start school so early here? Like other countries do not start school early like we do. It's such a weird culture here that we start school so.
It's babysitting. It's not. It's look. We
know. I know. Why am I even saying this? It's not like I know. It's all about. They don't give a fuck about the
Tests are for the
kids.
adults.
Well,
grades are for the adults.
I mean, there's so much after school stuff. Especially with high school, they start high school, you're already in whatever first period at 7:30. So
if you finish school at 5 and then you have whatever practice or even games,
that's
you're
true.
gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what?
Really
I feel like other schools don't have as much of that. I'm also just thinking about my experience living in Finland, where there's not as much of that. There is after school things, but not as much of it. Like we
so that's
have.
where I was going, because I was gonna the follow up to where did you go to school was. So did you do stuff out of Brockport? Because I was always wondering if you were here, you were like going to soda or something. So
they're doing the comedy thing in Brockport.
Yeah.
Maybe
plays
they did.
or whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
probably.
no. So like I said, I wasn't involved in any performing arts up until after college, and so I played basketball, and then I had to take a city bus home after that. And I played for 2 years, and then I was like, this is too, burning the candle at both ends type of thing. Even as a 15-year-old, I'm like, this is hard, I don't like this that much, know. So yeah, it was difficult, especially just being so far away and having to do that, and the accessibility of not having a bus. But I did other things. I did basketball that was kind of close and a CYO type of thing. I played baseball. It was 40-1. It was up the street.
Oh yeah, 41.
Yeah. You remember 41?
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
I won. It was a bizarre thing. something. I'm not going to start talking about, but yeah, I did 1 year.
Okay.
So we'll just
Like-
leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up in the city off Ridgeway, Mount Reed, around there.
Oh yeah, that's
so,
where over
yep.
in. Oh man, I remember the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up on Lagrange, so
Okay.
yeah, my
Oh,
parents-
okay. I know.
Yeah,
what
Lagrange
that is.
Avenue.
Okay.
My parents are still there. Shout out to Rob and Michelle.
I grew up in I grew up in 14621.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still East Side, but yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had this weird thing where I tried out for a team,
Yeah.
and the coach didn't know my name, and so when he said, "Okay, here's who made the team," he didn't. My name wasn't called, and I went away. And then I bumped into someone like a month later, and they were like, "Coach is wondering where you been."
He didn't say my name. He didn't say my name.
He's been asking where you been.
Yeah.
So he thought my name was like Steve or something. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, so he
Well,
I
Dave,
made the
Steve.
team.
I mean,
I don't remember.
they're
the
so
name. This was
common.
150 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, it was just like the weirdest. I totally forgot about that.
That was like
40-1.
like a Starbucks name type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This happened to me the other day. I was at Starbucks and they called out Santiago, and I was like, "Did they think I said Santiago?" But it was.
All right, so like we usually happen, although this hasn't happened anything like this in years. We had some weird technical thing where it just stopped recording, and a box popped up that said, "Your sound dropped off," and
Santiago.
sucks for you. So all that, probably the funniest stuff we said all night. You missed it. It didn't get recorded.
Sorry,
right.
it's okay.
It's all right.
But Santiago.
Yeah.
Really? Do you think they really? Santiago.
Yes, they would. They do. Look, if you got a shit job, I feel. Look, I've been in those situations where it's at a restaurant or something, and someone has a shit job, and they just treat you like shit, and you want to be, and I want to be totally mad at them and throw my drink at them, but they have a shit job.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I
just a
mean,
job.
later on in life, I guess, I relate with them. I get it. But
But
I
in the
also,
moment, though,
yeah.
so stop being a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I kind of go by like if even no matter how shitty your job is, do it the best you can type of thing. But that is older, mature Dario saying that, and not
Right.
like when I was
Let's get off
yeah.
my lawn, Dario.
Yeah.
I worked-
This is the Dario who's having a kid soon. Dario.
Exactly. I'm responsible now. So like, come on, son, let's get it together. Like that type of thing. Like I worked a summer at Seabreeze, right? And yeah.
That's got to have jokes.
Yeah, so I worked at the Water Park Grill. That's what I don't know if you've been to Seabreeze.
Yep.
There's a main grill, and then there's I don't know if there still is. I haven't been there in years. I can go in a couple of years when I have a kid, but it's just weird to have, not have a kid and be
go.
shirtless.
Yeah.
But
That's
that's like mid 30s. Yeah, it's weird. But
Hey, you stop running.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know that guy?
Yeah, exactly. You don't work here. But yeah, so I worked at the Water Park Grill and I hated that job so much. And one day they put me in the Dippin' Dots stand, right?
Oh no!
And it's like,
Is that bad?
yeah, it's just like a coffin. It's like very
it's a little tiny little.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't
imagine
do
a
it.
coffin except with Dippin' Dots inside, right?
photo
And so-
mat for Dippin'
yeah. Exactly.
Basically, I could never have worked in a photo mat either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm claustrophobic. There's no fucking way I could have
Yeah.
done that job. I couldn't have done the Dippin'
No,
Dots job
I did
either.
it for like 2 days, and I was in there, and I was hating it, and like, and so I just sat in there, and I like ate all the Reese's peanut butter cups out of the Reese's, and so I would scoop it out, and then there'd be like no cups in every scoop, and I'm like, weird.
I just realized. So I'm sorry. I made a huge Rochester
so
reference.
funny.
Seabreeze is a local amusement park. Sorry about
Yes.
that. Oh,
It has one of the oldest wooden roller coasters
Jackrabbit,
in
yeah.
the U.S.
Yes.
it's cool.
I mean, it's a wooden roller coaster.
Yeah.
You feel like every time you're going to go on it, it's going to fall apart, which is probably partially why it's scary.
Yeah.
It's not scary because it doesn't do any scary things. It's just fucking old.
Literally does that click clack thing.
Yeah.
That you
If you have any lumbar issue, don't go on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
don't
pretty
go on there.
jarring. It's
Yeah,
like a lot
I wouldn't.
of,
I probably wouldn't go. I haven't gone on it in a while. I probably wouldn't now.
Roller coaster to sit.
Yes.
Man, I used to love roller coasters too.
Yeah. Like one of those people that bring like the seat cushions
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like Frontier or whatever.
Oh my god,
Innovation.
I
I'm
have to be that
sorry.
person.
Yeah.
Even as an old person that I am now, I dig roller coasters.
I do too.
Even, like going to Seabreeze, they have that whatever thing that goes totally upside. I think it's
Yeah.
the Screaming Eagle. Or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Like most of my family, even the kids, wouldn't go on, and I'm like, "Come on, man, 2-3 times, I'm all right."
Yeah. I'm not a heights guy. I hate heights.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not either. But if I'm strapped in,
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's if I'm standing on a ledge, I'm.
Yeah, because Dan will do roller coasters, but he does not like Ferris wheels.
Oh, interesting. Specific. fear.
Yeah. That's my husband. He does, and my son feels the same. My son isn't a big height.
What is it about Ferris wheels?
Oh, because it's heights.
Okay.
He doesn't like heights.
But
But a roller coaster, I almost feel like it's the same thing because you're kind of strapped in and
Sure.
stuff. So it's like if you go, like we went to Darien Lake for my son's 17th birthday, I think it was. So it was the two of us and my son and his then girlfriend, and we went on there because I wanted to go on the Ferris wheel. I had no idea that other people who were going to be on the Ferris wheel with me, including my now husband, were not going to be okay with it.
Oh.
And then I found out. And we got stuck on it for a while.
yeah.
And that that Ferris wheel is kind of big, so it was
I'd
a little
probably be all right
scary.
if I checked for rust first.
Yeah.
Ferris wheels?
Yeah, I want to see your certificate of safety. Can I before I get on this
Yeah.
thing?
Ferris,
I love Ferris wheels because you don't have to do anything. You just sit there and look at shit.
Right. Well, Ferris wheels feel like old timey fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I like them.
You know, like we're just gonna go up
Just
and
going
go
around,
in a
just
circle.
looking around,
You and
and
your,
shit.
you know,
La 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 la.
you and your lover. You know,
Yep,
sitting, necking. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Whatever you wanna
there was not. I can guarantee there will be no necking ever on a Ferris wheel now
I'm not going on the
because
bumper
now
car
that I've
with you, buddy.
do. Yeah, I'll smooch you.
That's what I'm saying.
Look out.
smooching.
They don't
Yeah.
call them bumper cars for nothing.
That's
buddy.
my secret. That's my secret move. Yeah. I grab your wheel and turn you into me.
That's how he got his wife.
Yes, that's a secret. Yeah, yeah. Don't use my
so
move.
much better than
I'm-
mine. No,
yeah.
I go to protest to get my women. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, that's how you got yours.
That's how I got mine.
Yeah.
Or that's how she got hers, I guess. That was actually, we just had her
And I found mine at
anniversary
a gay bar, and he's not gay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
that you know of.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure he's not gay.
No, we just celebrated our anniversary yesterday.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah. Well,
Mazel
not our
tov.
wedding. February 29th.
Oh, that's when you got
Day
got
First
engaged.
date or
She proposed.
That was your engagement date. No, I remember that. I actually thought of you on that day because you were literally the only person I know that ever got engaged that day.
Yeah. That was her.
on the
weirdest-
leap year day. Yeah.
That was
okay.
specifically for that reason, which I think is the cutest thing ever.
It was,
It's really adorable.
we never talked about it. Like never talked about marriage. We were just dating and
Yeah.
and then I just came home from where I don't remember where the hell I was working at that time. And yeah, she had this whole thing planned out and proposed and I hope I didn't look too stunned, but
Yeah. I got engaged to my wife. It was like December 2012. And I don't know if you guys remember, that was like the Mayan, right? Like the Mayan
Oh,
calendar.
it was. I
supposed
forgot
to.
about
yeah,
that.
Yeah, So I had
I remember that now.
I had a joke at the time where I'd be like, you know, I'm holding out, like, I hope this happens because now I'm engaged. And like, that'll be an easy out if the world ends. Yeah, I'll take another one. Yeah, thank
No,
you.
that's funny.
Turns out that the Mayans were wrong, and I had to get married.
And you
so.
still had to get married.
Yeah.
Now you're having a kid.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Damn it, Mayans.
damn Mayans.
Fucking Mayans.
And where are they now?
Well, I mean, they're in other people who are ancestors of Mayans, I guess.
That's
Just saying, because we've talked about the 23andMe thing lately, and like
man,
they're
if my
around.
thing came back and they said I was Mayan, I would be so happy.
Oh, you would've been
would go around
excited.
shirtless.
Yeah.
Oh, I would be
Get some
excited.
tribal tattoos.
Oh my god!
I would be-
And
I would have been
the
excited about
tastiest
it.
White person ever. It'd be so awesome.
That's why I would have thought it was hilarious. Yeah, that's why it'd be funny.
Mohawk. Yeah.
You and I are so pacey. If we came back as having anything like that, that would have been hilarious.
Well, I'm Iranian.
You are,
obviously.
yeah. Well,
My thing said I'm 3-point-something
Yeah.
percent Iranian. Really?
It all goes back to like Africa, right? I mean,
that's
we
what
all
I'm saying.
have
Yeah.
some Pangea in us, right?
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
You know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up my own. Like people are gonna send me their spit. I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm just gonna dump it. Send them my thing. Africa.
That's it.
I didn't have any African though in my chart.
Yeah, but
No?
you are.
Oh, okay.
We all are. That's
My husband does. I don't.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Dave's DNA.
Scandinavian type of stuff, was it?
Oh, you know.
Is that what? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He looked at me, Scandinavian.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're saying no Africa, then
Yeah, I'm like, you're
very
the
right.
opposite of that. Scandinavia.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
True. Yep. Swedish, German, English.
I'm just happy it verified what I've been telling people, and they wouldn't believe me. Now I have
that you're not Irish.
that I'm not Irish.
Yeah, people kept thinking because he had
And
red
when I
hair
say
and
no,
he's pale that he was
they-
Irish.
Oh,
I mean, it's a good thing I didn't put it on Reddit. They really would have came after me hard.
yeah.
But
Oh my god.
You get car bombed or
yeah,
something,
right.
you know?
Yes, totally
But-
not.
Those people are scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
I have in the
Do you even have a Reddit account?
no, that's where I was gonna go. Where the hell is this list of things?
I still have a Reddit account, but I just don't post anything on Reddit. I just look at
Wait,
shit.
I must because every once in a while I get a Reddit terms of.
Yeah, I
whatever.
still do. I just don't. I post nothing on there. I just look at things. I post
Yeah.
nothing.
So of all the places
Mm-hmm.
that we post the show, I actually thought about should I fuck around with Reddit, but I just hear stories like
No,
Yeah.
don't
I'm
fuck
like,
around with Reddit. They're just not nice people on Reddit.
Well, but you never know. It's one of those things. It's like, you know, for every asshole, there might be some people that would be interested in your show and would listen. So, but those are the people that don't speak up, right? It's always
Yeah.
the dickheads that are like,
Hey, I would just go
They're
there for
vocal.
click the link and listen to the show. I don't care if they say
Right.
anything. I'm not gonna.
Well,
hang
then
out.
never mind. Go ahead, do
You
it.
think so?
Yeah, fuck it.
yeah.
Fuck it, do it.
I'll write it down. It doesn't
Fuck
mean-
you, Reddit.
I'll,
We'll be
I'll
back.
vote you. If you
All right.
post it, I'll give you a little upvote.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll give you enough. We'll give you enough.
Yeah.
What? So what's? Well, because we don't just talk Rochester stuff. We do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Just there's got to be like a podcast subreddit or something like that.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah, there
Because
is.
there's everything. So right.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a subreddit for everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll-
Facts.
I'll look into it. But you know what? When I'm like down for the count after my surgery, which is next week. Oh yeah, we
Next
won't
week.
be here next
We won't
week.
be back next,
Yeah,
next
we
week, so you'll have to listen to old shows.
Yes.
Go back.
I haven't posted an old show.
Whatever.
in a while,
Dave,
but
post some old shows. Well, you'll be home.
I will. So
You have
I'm gonna
something
be
to
home.
do.
I'm going to have my surgery, thankfully, get it over with. And so we won't do a show next week. And then I'll be lifting barbells in the week after.
Fantastic.
You're having your penis removed? Is that?
Pretty close.
Yeah,
Hernia. Hernia
yeah.
surgery.
Penis removal.
Hernia. So you're pretty close down there.
My dad had one of those. Yeah.
What?
Penis
What?
removals?
Penis removals?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was
Difficult.
obviously after. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
After you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you
He
can still
showed it
have
to
the
me.
sperm.
First, he showed it to me. And we keep it in a jar.
Yeah. Hey, that's why they don't let you in Seabreeze anymore.
Yeah. Stay away from the lazy river. Yeah.
That's why I bring goggles whenever I go.
As you should.
Oh, definitely bring
Your eyes
goggles
will
for the
burn for
lazy river.
multiple reasons.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, we're at about an hour. That's cool. All right, so I didn't get to. I'll save that for next 2 weeks from now.
We'll
All
have
right, I'm going to
something
put the
cooler.
links in, but tell folks. So album's
Yeah.
coming out,
Yep.
and you're going. Where are we
Where's
going?
Where's it going to be? Where can we find your album?
Yeah, so currently, I don't know when this is coming out, but the album releases on March 6th, right? And if this comes out before that, you can pre-sale. It's pre-order on iTunes.
4 days.
Yeah.
I'll put this up tonight.
Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
on iTunes?
Yeah, it's on iTunes. You can pre-order it. It's called The Rough and Final Draft, Dario Joseph. Yeah, it's 20 tracks. One thing I forgot to mention is that 10% of the proceeds of this album is going to be going to the Avenue Black Box Theater. It's a local
fantastic.
city performing arts theater in the historic Joseph Avenue neighborhood. They give opportunities and get kids involved in performing arts.
Yep. Totally know about that.
So it's
yeah,
it's
that's
an awesome thing, it's one of those things that like I wish I kind of had that opportunity growing up. Maybe I don't even know, but who cares? I'm where I am now, right? But I just love that that exists, and I want to give back a little bit, and just that's kind of what I do. And it's just like so if you buy the album, not only are you supporting me and a new father, I need the money, please buy the album, and
Always fun.
but you're also supporting a local performing arts, Rochester Performing Arts Theater.
I mean,
which
help
is
the
pretty
baby
awesome.
out. I mean, listen to who his dad is. Come on,
Yes.
he's going to need all the help he can get.
That's right.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Poor kid. He's not even born yet. And he's already got 2 strikes against him. Come
Yes,
on.
he's in the hole for
Buy
sure.
the album.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll find.
Yep. So it's
iTunes, I'll get it.
Yeah, it'd be great if you bought it, but otherwise, you know.
Wait, do you,
Yeah.
you have a website?
Not currently. I used to.
right,
but
well,
you
I'll
can
find something.
Instagram. On Instagram, I'm Dardar Stinks. So
Dude.
like Jar
All right,
Jar
I'll
Binks.
find him.
Jar
I'll
Jar
find
Stinks.
him. Okay,
You got it?
yeah,
Okay.
that's hilarious.
Twitter, I'm not super active, or X or whatever, but I'm Dario Party 64 on there. But you can just find me Dario Joseph if you just put that into Facebook or just
Yeah.
Google machine.
Google
or
that
whatever.
and they'll find you.
Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, if you don't buy it, you know, I'd love if you listen to it. It'll be streaming everywhere. Share it with your friends. You know, it's gonna be out there.
And if it's registered with any of the publishing whatever thing, if I'll slap some tracks up at Stuart Burdasco Radio and
Cool.
they report, so
Yeah.
you get 2 cents.
That'd be great. Yeah, yeah. No, every
Yeah,
little
2
bit
cents.
counts.
Yeah, I know, for real.
I don't know what I pay $60 a month, and that's supposed to take care of all the royalty stuff, and I have no idea where that money goes. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, all things considered, it's not really about the money. It's like about, you know, getting my jokes out there, all this work that I put into this, and I want people to listen to it and enjoy it. That's really what it's about.
Yeah, you Reddit fuckers, just chill out, will you? Just
Yeah.
give
For
me
real.
edibles or
I don't
something
think I'll
for
put it on
crying out loud.
Reddit. I'm too
Yeah,
scared.
no, I wouldn't. Oh, dude, no.
Come on, man. Just start get into weed or something, man. Just chill the fuck out.
I know you.
Please.
I feel
Drink
yeah.
more.
Is there too much? Is there too much like people doing too much meth or too many amphetamines going on Reddit? People need to just like smoke a
Very
bowl and
aggro.
chill out.
Yeah.
Amphetamines crowd. That's funny.
It might be. I am on a Monster Energy subreddit, so that's.
Oh my goodness, that must be hilarious.
I'm gonna post the album on there. Be like, what's up, guys?
It's all in capitals.
yeah.
Everything's all.
Yeah, we're like, what's up, guys? Check out my comedy, and they're like, no, you know.
It's totally no, everybody
Yeah.
types with 2 fingers and it's all in capitals.
Yes,
And,
yes.
Everything starts with bra.
Hey, don't.
Bra.
That was me when I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, that's island vibes, right? So.
Bruh.
So I started with, the sarcastic doing dude. Mm-hmm. And then when I moved to Hawaii for this job, that just everybody looked at me funny with dude. So I just totally, and not even on purpose. My brain just did it.
Yeah.
Well, you
The
just
bra.
you do.
And then I came back here and I did a week of bra, and the looks just, my brain went on its own. Just
Yeah.
like, back to dude. So everything's dude.
Oh, Rochester's a dude town. And
We're definitely more dude than
Hawaii
bra.
is bra. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we're definitely dude and bra.
I'll do it to
Yeah.
my students every once in a while just to kind of confuse them a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that,
You say bra to me sometimes.
do I? Yeah.
Oh yeah, well
Sometimes.
it's me though.
Yeah, it slips.
Oh yeah. I got my inner surfer deep down and
Yeah.
never close to me.
No, you didn't get out there on a board? No.
Probably never even probably put his toe in the water. Did you even put your toe in the water?
I did. Okay. So I
dipped a
went
toe.
into the ocean once.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And the undercurrent came in and swept my feet out from under me, and I went totally under.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
This is mildly graphic here.
Bruh.
Bruh. Every drop of mucus that was in my body, that had been in my body, and was going to be in my body, escaped through my nose because of the seawater, the salt water.
Oh.
Wow. It just wipes you clean.
Oh, it sounds like you discovered like some kind of new therapy.
It was-
maybe.
I know it does kind of, right?
It was like
Kind of jealous
it was
now.
like nature's neti pot. It just totally, and my nose would not stop running for like an hour. It was the grossest thing ever. And I'm like, I don't need to go back in there.
Just emptied your sinuses.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got no reason to go back in there.
That's in the ocean now, guys. Yeah.
And then
Kinda
for
scared
the
now.
school I was at.
Kind of scared now
The
about
school
the
I was
ocean.
at, we were a STEM school, and half the time, half the building would be out in the community doing stuff. That was the nature of the school I was at. And the one time the kids went scuba diving, I was actually in a boot and couldn't. But I found out what happens is, because we were studying sea turtles that were especially the ones that were getting sick and diseased, and they would get all these tumors. And this is all about capitalism, because tour boats, even though it's illegal, to save money, they would dump their toilets into the ocean as opposed to docking and then emptying it.
Right,
They'd
you're
have to pay
supposed
a
to.
fee.
Right.
And the human feces was what was giving these turtles the tumors. So all I know is I'm hearing, if I scuba dive, I'm going to find human turds. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll be the
Wow. That's how we're ending the show, isn't it? Pretty much.
That was like,
whoa, dude.
that was like Spalding in Caddyshack coming up to the
Yep.
Baby
The fake
Ruth.
poop. Yeah.
Duty.
Duty!
That would have been me in the ocean yelling duty.
I had no idea.
So I checked out.
Oh my God. No, I'm never going to Hawaii.
Now that could have been Maui, right?
I'm never
It could have
going to
been just
Maui.
Maui, and
I'm never going to Maui.
You go to Maui, just don't scuba dive.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
All right.
I'm not going anywhere. There's going to be poop somewhere.
There's
I know.
toilets on the land. You just don't swim. That's all I'm.
Wait, they have toilets on the land?
Yeah.
So they don't have to poop in the. Oh God!
It's like
people are so
Disneyland on
gross.
that island.
You
They have
don't have
toilets
to.
and plumbing and water.
Yeah, I prefer to take my shits in the ocean.
Yes.
So every time I have to take a dump, I drive to the coast.
God, these people.
It'll definitely clean you out. That's for sure.
Sure,
I've learned.
especially this time of year. It gets
absolutely.
chilly over there.
Yeah, it's all good. And on that note, see you on Reddit, and we'll be back in a couple weeks. Listen to old shows. We have Stuart Burdasco Radio. If you're bored and you want to stick it to the man, we have CoolCatsForChange.com. On social media outlets you've never even heard of.
You know them all.
I had the list here. Pillow Fort.
Lips.
Minds, Lips, Tumblr, Threads, Blue Sky, and then the usuals: Twitter, Facebook.
Are you on Blue Sky?
I'm not. No, I don't
okay.
think I've heard. I've heard of some of those, but most of them not really.
Yeah, right. That's like as I discover these, I'm like,
I know you're like
is it free?
Friendster and MySpace and
Friendster. That's how this all started.
yes, yeah.
So we're on all of them. So even though we won't be around for 2 weeks, you'll have time because Dario's record comes out in 3-4 days as we post this, and you just go check his shit out, check our shit out. You got nothing else to do. We all just sit around watching the internet anyway, right? Right?
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
It's wet.
It's fun.
My skin is tingly.
It's wet, it's fun, it's tingly. It's Talisman Energy's hydrofracking water park. We heard your concerns about hydrofracking, and we wanted to show you just how safe hydrofracking is. So we're using water from our natural gas extraction to supply the Talisman Energy hydrofracking water park in Dimick, Pennsylvania.
Mama, my eyeballs feel hot.
Slip slide away down our 14 water park runs. Try the Tornado, the Burning Faucet, and our newest slide, the Chemical Inferno.
I can't feel my toes.
Talisman Energy's hydrofracking water park is located on Route 29, just south of Binghamton, New York. It's a fracking blast. Talisman Energy hydrofracking water park.
My eyelashes are gone.